Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the Bottom Line Me podcast. I'm your host, Ann Allard, and back with me again today is my favorite brand evangelist, Bill Svoboda from Close Simple, and we're continuing our conversation on simple business planning. And today we're going to talk about the third component in Bill's plan, and that is your vision for your business. So, Bill, good to see you again.
Good to see you too. Good to see you again. We're just rolling through this here, Ann.
Yeah,
I'm excited to hear some stories about how maybe some people start using this in their businesses.
great. Well, I can't imagine that they won't, but I'm even thinking about ways to apply it in the role that I play at Agency University here in Old Republic Title. So lots of great recommendations and ideas and suggestions. So let's talk about vision today.
Vision. I think this is one of those areas that amidst the busyness of life and the busyness of business, it's hard to get our head above the water and kind of see where are we going. And the reason we all get so run down in this industry is because we are so busy every single day, keeping the wheels on the car, just going. The vision area, this is so critical to the business. Again, we started with the customer, who are our customers. Then what are we going to build? What's our value proposition? What are they asking for? Now let's go to our business. And this is really where we start building the right business, and the right growth and scale engines are going to come out of it. Okay. So the vision for the business, we want to get our head above the water to work on the business, not just in the business. Okay. It's so easy to work in the business every day, creating the value proposition, but I want to start thinking about why are we in the business and what type of business do we want to make? Okay. So two areas here, your why and your 3-year picture. Okay. I want to start with the why. And Simon Sinek has this quote: people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Okay? People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Okay, so when you think about the process that we engage in every single day, when we choose one brand over the next, we don't just choose like just because. We choose because it holds a place in our heart. We choose something because it has an impact on us emotionally. We can either in life go through the motions, or we can create emotions in others. Okay, so I want to get to the why are you even in this business? Why are you so passionate about creating the value proposition for the customers that you're creating? Okay, Simon Sinek, he wrote this book years ago, and this is why I just start with the why. He said, it all starts with why, okay? Forget what we're making, the value proposition. Why did you even get in this business? Why are you different than the next title or escrow company? Why did the world need another title or escrow company? That's really the question to ask. Okay, why are you in business? That's really the starting point to really think about it.
Hasn't he done several TED Talks on just that topic? Because it sounds very familiar to me.
Well, yeah, he had one of the most famous TED Talks ever, where he had this
Yes,
big whiteboard, kind of like a flip
yes,
chart, and he had this circle
coming
as
back to me.
why,
Yeah,
how, what. Why are you building? How do you do it? What are you selling? And really, a lot of
game
businesses rush.
changing.
Yeah, a lot of businesses rush into what are we selling instead of why are we selling it. When I get asked to speak at companies, a lot of the times that I'll speak, I talk about why are we even in this business? And I'm saying the word why a lot, because why are we getting out of bed in the morning? What is it that motivates us? Why are we thinking that we're going to make a difference? The reason why so much time we feel like burnt out is because we're just chasing things. But if you have a vision and a goal, everything changes. So that really segues to the 3-year picture, where it's, if we know why we're in business, we want to make a dent in the universe of title. That's really our why for Close Simple. It was like, why did we get into business? Is because we thought it's too complicated and it could be simpler. So our 3-year picture was, we want to make a dent in the industry, and we want to do that by having fill in the blank. And that becomes the tactic that you're going to build around. So once you know why you want to be in something, then you start going, where do I want to be in 3 years? When I get to speak to title companies, I'll look at it and I go, are you going to be a company that's driven by acquisitions? Are you a title company that's grown? How do you want to grow? Do you want locations? Do you want brands? What do you want to do? Where do you see yourself in 3 years? A lot of times right now, I'm speaking to title company owners that 3 years from now, what's their vision? They want to be retired. So their why might look different than it does 20 years ago. And their 3-year picture is in 3 years, they want to be out of the business. Other people
So is the question, why am I in business today? Or is it,
always have to be looking at your why, because your why is going to change over the course of your time. And that's going to adjust what you're building over the next 3 years. Another company might
do you ever have someone, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go on.
What I was going to ask you is, I think oftentimes, the why for a lot of people would be the financial reward. I mean, that's kind of an automatic, but what you're talking about is what's behind that, or what's in front of that, or.
Well, the why has changed so much over the last few years. You think about it. Now, when we hire new employees, the why they want a job is not just the money. They want to be able to maybe work from home. The why has changed for the type of things that we need to offer for them. The why has changed for what people look for in a company. It's not just about the dollars anymore. Now it's about, what impact am I making? A few years ago, there was the big boom towards the nonprofits, because a lot of people leaving college were like, I don't want a job that's just all about money. I want to make an impact in the world. They were chasing a different why. Everybody has a why, and it's up to us to communicate that why to our teams and go, this is why we're in business at XYZ Title. We're in business because we believe, fill in the blank. We believe that the closing day should be a celebration. We believe that the closing experience should be fully remote. We believe that whatever your why is. Does that make sense?
Yes, it truly does. I think it's awesome. And it's it contributes to company culture. It contributes to the success of the employees, to the reputation of
why
the
are your people showing up every single day? Yeah. That's the question. And what are you doing to put that in front of them and go like, this is why we're here? A lot of title companies that I get to speak to, people are burnt out because there's no real vision for where they're going. They're just busy doing work. Right. So what's your why?
Yeah, I love it. All right, tell me more.
Let's go into the 3-year picture thing. We started on that. And the 3-year picture, this is just a very simple idea. Where do you want to be in 3 years? Are you about locations? Are you about process changes? What do you want in 3 years? I mentioned about some people right now just want to be retired in 3 years. Some people in 3 years want to have more locations. Some people in 3 years go, you know what? It's me and one other person in this company. I never want to close another file in my life. I want to be full-time remote and just check my email. I want to have a team doing all the work for me. Where do you want to be personally in 3 years, and what type of business do you want to be building in 3 years? I think we need to get very specific about that, because a lot of the decisions we make about how we're going to deliver the value proposition, then what software we need, what type of team we need, what type of business we're going to build in terms of locations, infrastructure, all start with, where do I want to be in 3 years? And not enough people actually ask that.
Right. Well, and I warming up to the 3-year plan. I've over the years, where do you want to be in 6 months? Where do you want to be in a year? Where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be in 10 years? But I think you said it early on that thinking about it in terms of 3 years seems manageable, and so you can forecast out or at least have a vision for what you're thinking about and where you want to be. And it also allows you to sort of track and measure, which are things I love to, to talk about and I love to do. And, but is there any specific reason why you landed on 3 years?
I landed on 3 years because 3 to me seems like the perfect number for me to actually forecast where I want to go. 5 seems too far. 5 just seems like, okay, now I got to backdate 4 years from now, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year. There's all these different milestones to hit. Okay. Not that I don't have a 10-year picture for my business, but I want to live in a tactical 3-year. If I want to be at this dollar amount in 3 years, I better have by this year and this year. There's 2 little check marks before it that give me some runway that I got to work towards. So for me, it's just tactical. That's the way I think about it.
Mm-hmm. I like it. I mean, I as I said, it feels doable.
So let me give you a few things here, Ann. Here's some easy ones that, let's say somebody listening to this podcast is like, okay, I need to work on my why. I need a better reason for why I'm in business. Okay, that's one area to focus on. But let's say they're looking at the 3-year picture. Here's just some easy things that they can aim at. Okay, gross revenue. Like there it is, gross revenue, net profit, number of locations, number of team members. What do you want to be known for in your market or your markets? We talked about this in the value proposition. Your brand is what people say about you when the door is closed, when you're not in the room. What do you want to be known for in 3 years? The best commercial, the best residential, a refi shop. What do you want to be known for? What does your life look like in 3 years? Are you practicing, golf 4 days a week? Are you in office 2 days a week and working from home 3 days a week? Are you making a remote closing process so you don't even have an office? What type of business do you see, and what is your life? What are your employees' life? How do they interact with it? That right there, I think there's 6 little things: revenue, profit, locations, team members. What are you known for, and how are you going to relate to your business or your employees relate to it? There's 6 little things that people might not be thinking about, but there's the starter.
Well, those are 6 big things, and I think that there's always going to be something behind each one of those things that will help you to figure out exactly what it is that you want for your 3-year plan. I think that's
Let me ask you this, Ann. Here's a cool question. Do you drink coffee?
Yes, I do.
You drink coffee, Starbucks, or what's your drink?
Yes,
Starbucks. If I had to ask you, like, what is Starbucks? Why do you think Starbucks exists? What do you think?
Why do I think Starbucks exists? Well,
why did the world need Starbucks?
Oh, because we needed good coffee on every corner. But in addition to the good coffee, although it's debatable, some people, I think, you either love it or hate it. There's no question in my mind about it. But it's the experience. It's I can tell you a quick story myself that when I first started working remotely, I got into the habit of getting up, getting dressed, and driving to the Starbucks that was closest to where I was living, because I needed to kind of shift my brain out of being at home into work mode. And the woman that was the barista there, her name was Sophia. I'll never forget her. And she would see me pull into the parking lot. This was before the drive-ups were and the apps were even available. I know I'm aging myself here. But anyway, she would already be making my coffee before I got in there.
So why did the world need Starbucks? You hit it on the head.
Because we wanted that great experience to help us start our day.
And a coffee shop on every corner, like you said. Like, they made the experience.
Convenience. Yeah.
So let's just pose that right to the title companies on this right here. Why did the world need another title company? The 3-year picture for Starbucks when they started, it could literally be, we want to put a Starbucks on every corner. Every mall is going to have 2 Starbucks. One on the first floor, one on the second floor. What's a title company's why, and how is that going to play out into the 3-year picture? I think it's easy to think in terms of Starbucks. Why? Because the world needs more coffee, accessible, easier, convenient, amazing coffee.
This is true. There's never going to be too much coffee.
Why did the world need another title company? That's the question I think everybody on this podcast today needs to ponder. Why did the world need another title company? And if we can't answer that, that's a hard thing to motivate our staff with. Why did the world need another underwriter? Why is Old Republic around? You know what I mean? Like, get back to that. Why does somebody choose you over another? What is your why? And that's what your reps articulate.
Exactly. Awesome. All right. Wow. Any final thoughts on visions and whys and 3-year plans before we wrap up?
Here's the bottom line. The simpler your vision, the better. For us at Close Simple, it was just, we want to make a dent in the title and escrow industry to make the experience simpler for buyer, seller, realtor, lender, and even the escrow staff. A lot of software forgets about the people who use it. We don't. Simple. What is your why? What are you trying to make a dent in? Why did the world need another title company? Why did the world need another software like Close Simple? Well, because we're not like everybody else. So what is it? And that's the question that everybody has to ask themselves.
Bravo. That's a great place to end. So thanks. We'll see you back here again, and we're going to talk next about the foundation for scale. I'm really looking forward to that conversation. And to our audience, again, thank you so much. We hope you're enjoying my conversations with Bill. I know I sure am. So until we meet again, let's all continue to learn, grow, and prosper. Thanks.